Hi everyone, it's Armor King, and today I'm going to talk about Armor King's bufferable throws, and what throws you can and cannot buffer. Now, the big one, I believe the one that you really can't buffer with Armor King is his quarter circle back 1+2. Now that that's out of the way, I mean, I believe you also can't buffer these command throws either. There are a plethora of moves in which you can buffer from, even negative moves. You can actually buffer moves from forward 3-4, which is honestly weird because it's -7. And look, let me put this back up here for you guys. Now, I was doing a little exploring, and I've noticed that even on guard all, you're still able to buffer a throw. And you can even buffer a throw after CD1. I mean, I don't believe you can buffer a throw after... Oh yeah, you can. Oh. That's so weird. So you can buffer throws out of moves that are either negative or neutral on block. So, like that, for example, that comes out in 10 frames, and you're going to want to do that because you're neutral. The worst that could happen is that you get dick jabbed. Other than that, there's plenty of moves that Armor King has that are bufferable, and his big one is Giant Swing, as you can see here. Very big move. And also, Tombstone Piledriver, that's a very notable move. It's his most damaging grab that does not have tech, and it's not non-tech rollable. So, it's technically his highest damaging grab that he has, and it does about 58 damage? Yeah, wow, holy crap. Added on top of 2-1, it's like 80 damage. That's a lot of fucking damage, let's be honest. And out of a 2-1 punish, that's amazing. So, I believe down forward 4, yeah, down forward 4 you can also buffer throws out of. But it's not that great. You hit someone, it's not going to do anything. Oh, but here's another one that I really like a lot. I like this, that you can... I like that you can, yeah, so you guys see that? You guys can buffer throws out of, Shadow Step. The Giant Swing on, there we go. It's got to be pretty quick with the Giant Swing out of that one, but you can do that. I also discovered that you can buffer, down Tombstone. You can buffer Tombstone out of a crouching move, but it's more along the lines of. It's literally more along the lines of holding forward after you press down back. That's how Tombstone activates. So that's the only way that you're gonna get it, is walking forward just slightly, but you can still get it that way. Now, let's talk about the moves that give us the advantage to be able to buffer. Now, I was just showing off this one, and right here, Shadow Step, raw Shadow Step, not the cancelable Shadow Step. So if you do this into this, you're not going to be able to get this, because the opponent is going to be able to backdash away from you here. But he can't backdash away from Giant Swing, of course, because it's Giant Swing. But he can backdash away out of... other things, but out of the 1+2 grab notably, but he can't apparently backdash out of down forward 2+3, so that's good to know. So you still have a mix-up. You still can choose between this move or Giant Swing, but the most notable one that you want to do is Giant Swing and Armor King Driver, because they just look like the same grab, and if they want to be able to break it, they're not going to be able to tell right away, especially if they're using the visual of hands as their way to break things. And we have other moves that we can definitely buffer shit out of. Now, oddly enough, we can buffer moves out of forward 2-1, but I believe it's mainly because we can wall splat with this. Yeah, really weird that we can do that. We can also, I believe we can also do this, but it's really odd that we can. You can even get the, yeah, you can get this. It's a little bit more on the difficult side, though. Like, that is so much easier than doing the Instant Shining Wizard. There it is. Boom. Yeah, 72 damage is a lot of fucking damage, though, man. what's even worse is that you can just, man, maybe you could go into a death combo with this. Just pick them back up, splat them against the wall, do a rage drive, and then fucking tombstone their ass and they're dead. But yeah, guys, there's that much. Now we're gonna talk more about moves that are gonna be used against the wall into a grab buffer. But for right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about what we can buffer while we're standing normally in the middle of the field. So 2-1, most notable, right? 2-1 is the most notable when it comes to his now very familiar tombstone, or whatever. It's just his grabs. So honestly, it's because it's +7 now. The opponent can no longer backdash. And because this is a 10-frame punish, it's really good to have, because then it forces the opponent to crouch, and also it forces the opponent to get into a 50-50 situation. The 50-50 is, am I going to get grabbed, or am I going to get counter hit? That's the situation. It's great! Tony the Tiger, let's go. Now, what moves can you all buffer out of this? And let me just explain. The moves that you can buffer are Tombstone Piledriver. You can also do his DDT. You can also do his down forward 2+3. And you can also do his giant swing, which is his most famous tool. Now, you can also do this with down 2, and you can buffer in giant swing, mostly giant swing though, because any other option he's going to backdash away from, except maybe if it's Tombstone. Now, Tombstone he can still backdash away from, but giant swing on the other hand, a little bit harder to buffer, but there it is right there. You can still buffer in giant swing from down 2. And it looks like it can still backdash away from you regardless, but it also depends on how good your execution is with Giant Swing. Now, I'm not saying my execution is piss poor with Giant Swing. It is, kinda. But, yeah. Down 2 is a pretty good tool to use for that. Now, standing 1 by itself is honestly super fucking good, but why would you just do standing 1 when you can get 2-1 when it's only -1 frame in comparison? Now, the only reason why I would suggest that you do standing 1 in your 10-frame punishes is mainly because the opponent, no matter what, can't fucking interrupt you. It's just super plus frames, and then it gets them to start ducking your standing 1s, and then once you get them to start ducking, you got forward 4, you got forward 3, 4, 3, you got forward 2, 1, you got down forward 4 to keep them at bay, at a distance, so they don't fucking try to keep punching you and shit. Because you're gonna be like +8, and then they're immediately gonna be like, oh, duck jump, duck jump, something like that. Or you're gonna also just low parry if they're gonna fucking do duck jabs, because I mean, it's like the #1 fucking pressure killer is down 1 or down 1 or down 2, whatever character you're using. But in all honesty, like, you can still fuck them over by just doing this shit, doing this shit. Or doing this shit right here. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. Now, down 1 is one of those down 1. Down 3 is going to be those ones we're going to use against the wall. Now, let's get more into this, right? Let's get more into this. I keep forgetting. So, down back 3 is +5 on hit, and it's often used with grabs that come out of it, like Giant Swing, or you can also have down forward 2+3, or you can also do AK Driver since you're +5. Boom! Amazing, right? And you can do Tombstone if your opponent tries to back away, you can't. So you have a good set of options here that makes you an absolute asshole against people. Let's not forget that one of your favorite moves with Armor King is going to be forward neutral 2, and you're +7 on hit there. They can't back away from you. They can't. It's hilarious. They're like, oh fuck! Oh my nuts! Oh my nuts! Now, they can back away from down forward 2+3, but They can't back away from Giant Swing. And I don't most certainly believe that they won't be able to backdash out of Tombstone. Yeah, they can't backdash out of Tombstone for shit. But they can backdash out of down forward 2+3, which is kind of disappointing. But that's no problem, man. You still have Giant Swing. It's too bad that you can't buffer quarter circle back 1+2, because then you'd have a 1+2 mix-up in there, and that would be used a lot more than the Tombstone, honestly. But Tombstone is still something you want to use regardless, because it's just the damage is too fucking good. Too fucking good. Now, okay, let's talk about the options that we're gonna try at the wall here. Now, let's say you have your opponent full corner pressure. You finally get them to the wall with forward 3, or forward 3. Boom. You can finally start You can start buffering in your grabs at the wall while running 3. And that's because you're plus 10 on block. Like, that could be a combo, honestly. And what's even scarier is that sometimes you can mess it up, and they can backdash away from some of the grabs that you do. But don't let that discourage you. You're still going to be able to reach it. You know what? I just remembered that we're going to go back to the wall. And then everything that becomes missable now becomes contact. You can use contact with it now, which is even scarier. So, like, okay, I'm not recommending that you use down back 3, but if you want some kinds of pressure a little bit with your grabs, down back 3 kind of gives that to you. I'm not recommending that you use it blatantly, but let's just say, hey, if your opponent doesn't know how to block lows, you're kind of going to want to be a dick about that. That's all I gotta say. You're going to want to take advantage of your opponent no matter fucking what. And honestly, just doing this into Tombstone feels so fucking good. And then doing this into DDT, this feels even better. Because they can't really much do anything. Now, what I've also noticed here is that depending on where DDT is, so let's have Armor King follow me here. Depending on where DDT is, you won't get the get up 3, which is weird because it's usually guaranteed on every other option. Look at that. He got up with stand up, but it won't hit him. It won't hit him on wake up backwards. But it's every time it's against the wall. Okay, hit him that time. I've also noticed after Rage Drive, you won't be able to get the get up 3 no matter what you do, because you're never supposed to reach DDT with this. And it's just weird how that works, but it does. But why would you go for that when you could go for something like this up against the wall? Or you could go for something like this at Forgotten Realm. Heck, I mean, even going for Giant Swing is a little bit of a better option than DDT. And actually going for this as well isn't bad either, because this also 4 breaks. It does a lot less damage than Tombstone, but it's still 4 breaks. So there's that. Now, okay, now that I'm back on topic here. Sorry about that. Now that we're back on topic, we're gonna talk about the moves that, again, while running 3, little boom, and then you go into a grab. You can do that because you can buffer it. It's fucking hilarious. Or you just go back into pressure. I mean, did you see how Armor King backdashed that there? It's the reason why he backdashed is because I waited a little. I didn't even wait. I just did it right away. You're not supposed to do it right away. But that's the trick with this, is that you're not supposed to do it right away. You're supposed to just do it as soon as you can do it right away if you want. But like that. You can do it right away like that if you want to. Or you could also do this. There's so many things that you can do, and it's just hilarious with this. It's just that's like the only one that has trouble connecting. And even still, it still connects after you just wait a little bit. So there's that. Now, let's... Again, that's while running 3, and while running 3 is super linear, so you kind of don't want to do that. But what you can do is this. Oh yeah, this is actually my favorite one, because I was looking around, and I'm like, huh, can you buffer out of crouch dash moves? And you can. And it just so happens that you can even buffer out of dark upper, but it's negative on block. You don't want to do that. But what you do want to do is this. Because this is hilarious to me. At +6, they're fucking like sitting there forever. They're like, oh shit, oh Dewey's gonna go for another one. And then you can just go for forward 4 or something like that. I don't recommend the forward 4 because you can still get counter hit. But you can do down forward 4, down forward 4, and down forward 1. Jesus Christ. Down forward 4. Down forward 4, and down forward 1. You can do that. Go for the down 3, shit like that. Or you could also go for the grabs, dude. Look at that shit. Look at how dangerous Armor King is right now. All because you can do this shit up against the wall. Like, this is stupid. Now, let's do this into Tombstone. Yeah, he's done, son. Be cautious when you use anything when you buffer any kind of setup or anything like that with this character. It's mainly because the opponent is going to start ducking you. And I can't express this enough. Start using your fucking mids. Like, you have good mids. They don't build momentum, but you have mids. And just don't forget that you have them. The only momentum building mid that you have is 13 frames. And even so, like, it's still, if they try to backdash away, they're gonna get hit with a +1 on hit down 3. Now, does it need to be more plus frames on hit? I think so, but it's not, and it's what we got. Anything that we have that is plus on block or plus on hit, we're gonna want to fucking exploit. And the fact that we can like seriously, I didn't expect this one either. That the shadow step into giant swing, anything like that. I didn't expect that you could do anything like that. And this character has a ton of surprises. So much shit that you can do. And also, yes, you can, I believe you can buffer out of down back 1+2, yep. And you can buffer out of you can buffer out of CD1. You can even buffer out of forward 4. Like, it's buffering is literally Armor King's thing. He can buffer everything. Alright guys, this has been Armor King. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate that you guys sat back and watched all of this. Now, you tell me what you guys think would be likely good for the next video. I'm interested in seeing what you guys want. Thank you guys again, and take care.